Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of our A through Z playthrough, we are going to be capping off the bees with our Butcher. Butcher is gonna make this a really meaty video. You're welcome. Team comps today are going to be Butcher, Lili, Gul'dan, Vala, Murky versus Medic, Greymane, Kira, Maiev, and Raynor, and we are playing on Towers of Doom, which I consider a very strong map for the Butcher, and if we get to that, I will try to explain to you why. So, it's a YouTube video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out, and if you like the channel and you want to support it, feel free to share it anywhere, social media places, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, what have you. But since there are people, I think, that watch these videos just for the builds, let's cap it off with that. Start it off with that. It's going to be Chop Meat at 1. 4 is going to be Unrelenting Pursuit. 7 will be your Victuals. 10 is going to be Lamb to the Slaughter. 13 will be Brutal Strike. 16 is Blood Frenzy or Crippling Slam. And then 20 will be either Slaughterhouse or Bolt of the Storm. Depending on what you need, those later game talents are the big ones for Butcher to make your big decisions on. So, I'm going to try to crank out the abilities really quick here because there's only one that's very important, and I'm sure you can figure out which one that is because it's the only one that does any amount of CC. That is our Ruthless Onslaught. This is our Shrieking Violin ability from the shadows, stunning people across the map, running at them so hard. I mean, it's a cool ability, and it's the only good one. Butcher suffers a lot from classic HOTS syndrome, I'd say. He's got a lot of talents and abilities left over from an era that they don't hold up in the face of current hero design. So that being said, though, Ruthless Onslaught is going to be a point-and-click charge stun that makes Butcher completely unstoppable while he is running towards the target that we are trying to stun. Now, that being said, when you chase after someone, they get an indicator, they hear the Butcher, the sound clip, and then they know, oh my god, I gotta either leave or I'm gonna have to eat this stun and deal with the Butcher on top of my face. So, oh, ooh, she just missed that point blank E. I don't die here. No, she didn't land the auto attack, and I am fine. Everything is fine. I had a Vala there to support me either way, so it's okay. Walking towards your teammates is very important when you are in danger. Now, but your Ruthless Charge is your main form of CC. It's your main form of gank with the character. It's going to make you a rotational monster. You're going to gank, you're going to rotate a lot with this character. Sadly, if you're stuck in a lane with him, you're not going to be able to do as much with his kit, sadly. We take some talents to kind of offset that a bit, but it also doesn't make him any better. So you can do what you need to do with Butcher, it's just not what the Butcher himself wants to do. I don't know. I'm over-explaining it, but yeah, that's it. Another meat stack, another 20 meat in the bank, and now we die. Now we die, because the enemy team is jumping directly on top of us. Please, don't let me die. And I walked back in and killed myself. I thought I was fine, and then I wasn't, and then it's okay. Just, that didn't happen. That one there, just forget that it happened. We only had 55 meat going in there, not 70. It's totally forgettable. We're not an early game hero. Butcher is never going to be an early game hero. The only way that you're going to be able to get kills with this character in the beginning of the game is if your team jumps onto the target that you are ruthless charging and kills them. So just remember that. Be careful with the Butcher. As much as I wish he was this storming, wicked, just beastly monster that he's made out to be, he is not. Now, your other abilities, your Q is your hamstring. It's an auto attack reset. You hit your Q in a short range in front of you. It's going to slow people, and you can auto attack immediately afterwards. And then your W is your Butcher's Brand. It is another auto attack reset, but it's also your main form of healing with the character. Damn, I'm just getting knocked all the fuck over the place. She can't auto attack me, so we're fine. The Butcher's Brand, you actually have to point and click onto someone, is going to brand them, and then all of your auto attacks onto the branded target are going to heal you for, I believe, 75% of the damage that you do. Yes. So when you do that, remember the damage done does, what is it? It's affected by all the modifiers on the character that you're hitting. So if they have block charges, that means less healing for you. If they have evasion up, that means no healing for you. So if you're trying to hit an Illidan who is evading, you're going to miss him. If you are blinded, no healing for you. And there are quite a few things in the game that are popular that are going to blind you and stop you from healing with your W. So you have to make extremely certain when you are using your W that there is no way you're not going to get healed. And that is another nuance making Butcher really fucking difficult. And part of the reason that you have to pick him so late in the draft. And then if you're playing with him in quick match like we are right now, he's just going to get dumpstered a lot because, you know, Artanis is really popular. Lily is going to be extremely popular for the foreseeable future. And a lot of characters who can just put blinds on people, like Johanna and Cassia, are very strong and popular for that reason. So things get difficult. I'm just warning you now. This character is difficult to play with. So all of that out of the way, I guess we can finally talk about Butcher's trait, which is kind of what I've been mentioning so far. It's the meat all over the ground. It's the stacks that we've been getting for killing people. All of this equates to extra auto attack damage for us. So the meat that we get from these kills and these minions makes us hit harder. And then we do lose meat when we die. So once we hit 200, however, we are going to not lose the stacks anymore. At that point, we no longer get stacks from minions, we only get them from heroes, and it's only 10 stacks from heroes. Can we kill this medic? Murky and I are on different targets right now, which is a little bit unfortunate. But looks like Greymane went really far for a kill that he could not get, and medic was just hiding in the wings. I'm probably dead here, but at least we picked up the meat. So when you pick up the meat from heroes, you lose 15 meat when you die. But if you pick up heroes, you get 20. So if you die, it's still a net positive of 5, even though that's shit amount. You're at least not going to go into the negative, which is a lot of the times the only thing that you can do with this character. So once you hit 200, though, you're going to get 125 extra attack damage on top of the attack damage that you've already built up. And then you are going to get 25% increased attack speed as well. That in and of itself is a big power spike for Butcher, but since it's so sporadic when you're going to complete the quest, because it's mostly dependent on hero kills, you are going to have a tough time playing around that quest completion. At least in quick match. And she's gone. Well, that's fine. Nothing we can do about that. I can't catch her. Murky's egg's down. Can we? Okay. She's going to poke. There's nothing we can do about that. Again, our charge down, meaning our entire kit is basically useless against any character with the slightest amount of mobility. Even to some extent, Butcher and Murky have a very bad interaction. Can we get... The Rainer is super dead, just getting absolutely indiscriminately erased from the middle lane. But a lot of people will tell you differently. Oh, Murky is good for Butcher because Butcher can just, you know, eat Murky alive, get a whole bunch of stacks really quick, and we're scaled. But if you're playing against a decent Murky player who knows how to use their bubble and trade into you, then you're never going to get anywhere because he's completely invincible, he's got a lot of movement, and he can bait a lot of bad decisions from you. The reason that we're getting so many kills in this game is because my team is completely willing to jump on top of charge targets. The Murky and his Octograb are actually slapping the enemy team and their poor mobility heroes. And luckily, the rest of my team is kind of big enough to distract from me to make good decisions as the team fight goes. So we do a lot of damage when the team fight breaks out, and we can go in as it's done to clean up what's left pretty effectively. Or at least just engage on the medic with some big cooldowns and make the team fight go bad. So for talents for Butcher, I think there is a couple... I don't know. Our 10 talent is always going to be the same. Lambda the Slaughter is the one that you want. Furnace Blast is just, it's too memey. It's too, the window's too bad. It's too hard to hit. It just doesn't do enough. And again, because characters have so much fucking mobility these days, and, you know, ways to just block so much damage. Ooh! You didn't eat the... Perfect. So I was aiming the Lambda the Slaughter at Maiev. It actually hit the medic because Maiev dodged it, and now Maiev doesn't get any healing because medic can't heal her because she's silenced the whole time. That's the reason that Lambda the Slaughter is just the... Well, I guess Ruthless Onslaught's your best ability, but Lambda the Slaughter is just so fucking good. It's one of the best ults in the game, and it's really sad that it's on the Butcher because the rest of his kit absolutely wastes it a lot. It's basically a ranged Octograb, right? Oh, he is in the pufferfish. He's going to get blasted. We've got the auto attack resets. Another 10 meat off of the Rainer, who just cannot move at all. Really hot stuff from this Murky. Loving it. Water Dragon lands on the Kira, but there's nothing that we can do because she is safely behind her tower. Now, Lambda the Slaughter. It's that big circle you see on the ground. It's going to hit one hero, and if they are chained, they're going to be yanked towards the center if they try to leave the circle. If they don't leave the circle, they're not going to be yanked, but they still can't go anywhere. They can't cast anything, so you just kind of have to make the best of Kira trying to phase tank us with the brand on her. Greymane doesn't have any self-healing there, so he is definitely the target. Oh no. I should have walked backwards and picked up the other meat. That's a bummer. We could have gotten a net gain of 10, because if we walk on there and still die, we don't lose anything. But now that we're dead, those are going to disappear, and that sucks. But anyway, Lambda the Slaughter, one of the best ults in the game. Really, really unfortunate that it is where it is. All that being said, though, it is the whole reason that you can play Butcher all the way to level 20, and then things will happen. You will win team fights with this character, specifically because of Slaughterhouse. If you have to take Bolt of the Storm, you have to take it. I mean, there's only so much that you can do if you're getting focused or things are happening badly for you. But Slaughterhouse will turn games entirely on their heads, because it will make Lambda the Slaughter hit everybody in the circle and chain them up. So that's a silence on... If you can hit it, a full 5-man team silence, that's also going to yank them towards the center of the range. And it's also a ranged ability on a 90-second cooldown. It is really, really disgusting how good that ult is. Look at how much shit we got out of them. And she's still going to engage on us there. Let's hit another Lambda the Slaughter. We're going to hit Kira, but she's getting all the medic healing, and no one's actually hitting the medic. Bummer. Had Kira decided to heal Greymane even a little in that team fight, Kira would have been dead. And we got so many abilities out of the enemy team for that charge. Rainer healed. Kira used her ult. Medic put the safeguard on Greymane because we charged forward and then mind gamed the fuck out of them with the cancel. Really fucking cool stuff. Another reason that the E ability is the best ability for this character. Now, talents, right. We need to talk about those eventually. I think Chop Meat is really the only thing that you can take at level 1. I know a lot of people are interested in block, and I don't specifically know why. I think the the thing is, we need to block damage when we run in with Butcher and our charge. But if you're playing this character the best that you could possibly play him, I don't think that is a thing that you want to do. It's going to be the same thing with the spell armor on your Ruthless Onslaught, that talent. I don't think those are really... We need to get the medic. The medic is the target who needs to die. I don't know why you guys are attacking a stim-droned Greymane. What? Lily knew. Lily was on top of me. She was all about it. We got 20 more meat out of that, though, and we're going to get the Greymane under his tower because we give no fucks, making it an easy 30 meat because my Murky and my Lily have all the understanding in the world that I slap the shit out of the correct people. Gul'dan and Vala are great as meat shields. No pun intended. But, you know, they do a lot of damage. They're easy to distract the enemy team, and we just get to clean up the scraps, which is all about what we do here. The damage mitigation talents, though, I don't think they're good, because you don't want to play... Ow. You don't want to play the character in a fashion where you have to go in and tank as much damage and hope that your team follows up. You want to go in after your team goes in, or at the beginning of a gank. You want to go in situations where it is going to be... Your team is going to have the advantage. So that is either after the enemy team has taken a whole bunch of damage, or the enemy team is really pushed up, or they're hit by an octo grab out of a bush, and they have absolutely no way to get out. My god. And mobile characters are just the Butcher's favorite. Maiev is going to dodge and leave her Kira completely in the lamb to the slaughter. And then come back in and die anyway. So I guess that's perfectly wonderful. That's what I wanted. And there's just going to be less and less that the enemy team can do against me, because we are almost 300 meat here. Got the camp branded and lots of healing. The reason I say chop meat is the only level 1 talent, though, is because the extra damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters makes Butcher's clear good. It also makes it so that Butcher has some sort of utility outside of, you know, being the gank machine that he normally is. And it lets you create some type of... that's 300. That's an easy 300. It lets you create map pressure with a character that normally has fuck all for wave clear. So picking up meat is really important, but if you have to pick up meat from minions, this is going to make it quicker, and this is also going to give you some ability to do something other than press your E button and hope that your team kills people. So it's important. And again, I don't think blocking damage with this character is what you want to be doing. Unrelenting Pursuit at 4. The reason that we're taking this is because it's going to be reducing the cooldown of our charge, which is normally a 15-second cooldown. We're going to drop it to 10. I think it's a 33% reduction. Yes. So as long as you hit someone with your E, it's 5 seconds off. So it's a 10-second cooldown. And I believe... no, I don't think it starts cooling down until you hit someone, or you cancel it. Cheap Shot is... whatever. And then Flail Axe is also really bad. So if... Let's say if Flail Axe and Cheap Shot were put together on this talent tier, they would be completely pickable into the cooldown reduction talent for the charge. But since that... Wow, she just does not want to live. Really giving up on life, says Kira. Unfortunate. But Unrelenting Pursuit is just too good for making your best ability in your kit better. So take that every time that you can. There's really no reason not to. Victuals, the more and more that I play this character, it just is the always good pick. You get 5% per minion death. And considering that is 35% of your max health back every time that a minion wave dies near you, it's too good not to take. Again, the meat shield on our E, I don't think is good enough, because when we do charge in, we shouldn't be charging in where we're eating lots of abilities. We should be letting lots of abilities die and then charging in. So, yeah. Insatiable Blade, I also, for that reason, I don't think is very good. And again, it's because it's tied to brand. Like, a lot of the talents tied to your W are shit talents. That's just how it is. They're just too old. They don't do anything anymore because of mobility or because of some sort of evasion or something. Medic down. The water dragon absolutely doing everything that we need. And Lily really just following me to the ends of the earth. 360 meat because my healer is amazing. Now we just need to clear out the towers. End of the game. Kira has... just going to take us on a merry-go-round real quick and make sure that the game ends badly for her team. So at 13 and 16... 13, we're taking Brutal Strike because the 15% extra damage is really good on our auto attacks. Because our auto attacks are going to be dealing so much stupid damage at this point, that 15% is still very, very big on the next 3 basic attacks. And then at 16, when I said either Crippling Slam or Blood Frenzy, Blood Frenzy is going to help you move about more often as Butcher himself, but Crippling Slam is going to help you get onto targets who are less mobile. So when we hit a character with Crippling Slam, our hamstring no longer slow fades. So, hey, that's me. I did 12 and 3. That's not bad. Crippling Slam removes the fade of your Q, though. So you're hitting someone with a 50% slow when you hit them with your Q, and that is going to last a little bit longer, I believe. Duration increased by 30%, so I think that's another second on the slow. So it's like a 2.5 second, 50% slow that doesn't fade anymore. So you hit someone with your Q, they're never going to be able to get away from you, which is exactly what we want to do in the face of someone like a Raynor or Morales. Kira and Maiev are kind of jury's out because they have movement abilities, but even Greymane to some extent can get away. But Lieutenant Morales and Raynor just cannot leave when we're hitting them with that slow. And if you are playing against characters who do not look like they're from StarCraft, you can take the Blood Frenzy because auto attacks will help you chase people who may or may not have movement abilities to get away from you. I don't know. It's tough to make the decision at 16, but that's just because those 2 talents are actually good. A lot of people take Enraged at 16 for the extra armor and stuff when you're at low health, but again, I don't like to play this character in a way that requires you to go in, waste a bunch of abilities to soak up damage and cooldowns. I like to go in after those cooldowns are burned, after big ults are used, after the team fight is seen some happening first, and then attack people. Because at that point, I should still have lots of health. I should still have lots of ability to chase people, to CC people, or silence people with my ult. Even at that point, we can use our W more effectively to heal, because people have less abilities to get away from us. So when you're playing Butcher, you want to go in for the opportunistic kill. You do not want to be the one to engage the fight unless it is a clear advantage. Like you have numbers, or you have 10s, or you have 20s. Something that you need to start immediately. Then I would say go in with Butcher. But otherwise, wait until the fight is almost done and then start your damage. That's just all there is to explain about the character. God, we hit it. We did it all. We talked about it. Our chop meat at 1, Unrelenting Pursuit at 4, 7 is Victuals, Lamb to the Slaughter at 10, Brutal Strike at 13, 16 Crippling Slam, and Slaughterhouse at 20. Huge shout out to my Lily for just holding my nuts the entire game. Really, really fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, did not complete his quest at level 1. Good thing you got a Butcher there to carry the game. 12 and 3. Still pretty excited about that. Damage was not bad either. Coming in above the enemy team's Raynor and just under my other 2 carries. Murky did get all the experience for our team. I was like, who the hell beat me in experience? And then I remember I have the little fish boy. So that's it for me. We'll be back tomorrow, I think, with Cassia. I'm pretty sure CA is the beginning of the seas. So we'll find out. Anyway, see you later.